Hello, everyone. Welcome to another match in the Big Money Tournament. This is the losers semifinal between Dan Brooks and Kaplane. I am Akuchi, and I am joined in commentary by KHZ.
What is going on? So yeah, these two players have both done tremendously well in the bracket. Dan, after losing once, has not lost again, obviously, to make it here, but he's also pretty much dominated every one of his opponents that he's played so far. Kaplan, on the other hand, has gone to a bunch of Game 7 sets and managed to pull them off. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, this is the match that decide. Well, the loser will get fourth place, which is right out of the money, and
Yep.
the winner will advance to the losers final against JNails, and then E Honda is waiting in the grand finals on the winner's side. And yeah, it looks like we're off to our first board.
So interestingly, they have a ban list, but no dislike list. So we're going to see most of the cards. And a pretty short ban list at that.
Huh, interesting.
I believe Dan doesn't use a ban list, so I'm pretty sure that's just Kaplan's list.
Was there discussion about that?
No, just something interesting.
No, I was just wondering, like the no dislike list.
Oh, yeah, a while ago, Dan was talking about how he doesn't like ban and dislike lists and he just wants to play with all the cards.
Oh yeah, but I mean, did they explicitly disable the dislike list, or just Cop Lane also just have nothing on the dislike
I
list?
think Kaplan just doesn't have anything on his dislike list.
Okay,
And yep, no possession ban, so we could see the boy.
interesting. All right, so we've got a 2-5 for Cop Lane and a 4-3 for Dan Brooks. Uh,
Yeah.
Dan
So
Brooks usually takes his time, so I expect we'll have a more sedate pace than the last match we commentated.
yeah, that was very fast. But Dan is a very slow and thoughtful player. Inversey Honda would go on for quite a long time, I think.
Yeah, playing the copper to make sure he doesn't time out.
Important. So for Kaplan, this looks like it's a pretty simple 2-5.
Yeah, I think you just grab the squire.
And the recruiter.
You might, yeah, absolutely, the recruiter. You might actually end up trashing that squire into a villain at some point.
Yep.
That's just a nice little exchange because squire isn't doing much for you in this game. You're gonna have some villagers from recruiter, and it's not really a terminal heavy kind of game.
So if you had 5-2, would you open Den instead? Or is just recruiter too good to skip on?
I would not open 10.
Yeah. I mean, on 5-2, a lot of time opening Den lets you get some recovery on your two hand. But there are some good twos here, and recruiter is just too hard to pass up on.
So cup lane opens with Black Cat. There's a little bit of risk in that if you see it on turn 3, you're going to be reluctant to play it in case you draw a recruiter dead.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't get that outcome, it's got a lot of upside over Squire.
Agreed.
I think I would have preferred the Squire though, because Squire can also gain a silver, which I think is pretty good on turn 3-4. Dan Brooks opens with Black Cat. So what I said about terminals or not needing too many villages. Well, I guess they're thinking of going for Black Cat, which makes sense because it's just a nice place to be when it comes greening time, and your deck just has 5 or 6 Black Cats. That really makes the opponent
Yeah, I
think
just
twice.
played a fantastic three-player Black Cat board in the three-player tournament. That got wild really quickly.
So Cup lane with a an amazing 5 copper hand on turn 3 as well. Gets that Den of Sin and is off to the races. Probably,
Yeah,
yeah, another Den here.
this is a really strong start. Den's the strongest draw on the board, I think.
Okay, good outcome for Dan Brooks. Now he can,
Doesn't draw anything dead.
yeah, he can follow with the Den here. I wouldn't mind some archives either, just because.
He goes for another recruiter
Interesting.
over again. I
Are
mean,
there any?
getting pretty good.
Workshop is the only gainer on the board that's not too well, and also Squire gaining silver. Neither of
Yeah,
those are too exciting for recruiter, so he's probably just planning on getting thin faster and then trashing one recruiter to the other.
probably. And if you are planning on playing with a bunch of black cats, having those villagers never hurts. JNails does black cats better than archive.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way that kaplane's deck is, there's definitely no incentive to get archive,
Hmm.
for sure.
Although Kaplan does love archive,
Hmm.
so that could be a problem. It's one of his favorite cards.
But in terms of like how efficient recruiter is as a village, I think Workshop and Squire gaining silver are both like on the cusp of okay, but you're not. You might get them because you have the recruiters, but it doesn't. Um, it's not like much more efficient than just buying villages.
Yeah, and like Sammy's saying, workshop is great here because you can just workshop for actual villages.
Yep, that's what Kaplane gets. So Dan Brooks has 6 coins here. We'll see if he goes
Will
in
this
for
be
the
a den?
dens.
I agree, Sammy. Seems like it should be a den. But yes, it could be a workshop. I mean, that's not unreasonable. It is, in fact, an archive. Okay.
Yeah, Dan. Excuse me. Dan Brooks sometimes does some things you wouldn't expect, and I'm down to learn what the game plan is.
Yeah, he has a very interesting style.
But yeah, the reason why I said archive is pretty good here is copper trashing is not great.
Hmm.
So you're probably going to spend quite a lot of the game with a fair number of coppers. Now, the fact that Dan Brooks got 2 recruiters would have made me think that maybe he doesn't want the archive. Or like he's going to end up trashing coppers pretty quickly, but we'll see what his game plan is. Maybe it's workshop gaining that feeds the recruiter or something like that.
Yep, like you pointed out earlier, Squire can also gain silvers if you need recruiter food, and he does in fact get a Squire. I wonder if that's going to be recruited to a villain.
Uh,
Archive's a good source of 5 villagers, yeah.
well, here he's probably going to recruit that last estate.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider recruiting the Squire yet if you want to do stuff, but I wonder if that's in Dan's plan.
Dan's plan. Yeah, I think
Hmm.
villain is quite reasonable here. Like getting one villain, the hand size attack will do some work.
And the coffers are good smoothing.
Absolutely. In terms of plus buy, it's a little awkward. It is Squire, I guess, like because they've trashed all their estates, so Baron is not
Yeah, it's
gonna.
not Baron. Squire just feels better. I mean, it's well for one, it's literally more plus buy. But it also you don't have to line up estates or gain an estate. I mean, just seems like the better source of plus buy here. That is true, Miss Gunn. If you need recruiter food. Oh shit, I am not using headphones. Let me put them on.
Yeah, there are there are some interesting gainers here. Yes, Baron gaining estate is and Squire gaining silver are not things you usually see come up a whole lot. But with Recruiter, both of those are a little bit more valuable than they otherwise would be. So Kaplane uses his first workshop gain to get Squire. I'm thinking of trying to take advantage of the plus buy, I would assume. We'll see if he follows it up here with a village. He's definitely running a little low on plus actions. Could gain and play here with workshop. Maybe another squire in that case. No.
Sorry about that. I am back. I brain farted and forgot to put on headphones. Yeah, quest is an option here. Black Cat is an attack card.
Interesting. Okay. Kaplane is out of villagers now. So he does get a mining village though.
Yup, and he has 2 dens coming in.
Yeah, quest for gold is gonna be among the best payload you can get here, I think.
Yup. I mean, what's your alternative for payload? Villain? Eh. We're not playing with the states for Baron.
I mean,
Miser is very slow.
I like getting one villain, but
No, I agree
there's
with
no need
one
to get
villain,
more than one.
but
Yeah.
agreed. You're certainly not going to be using villain as your main source of payload. So let's see if we. Looks like we're going to see another quest here.
And Dan Brooks leaves a recruiter on the top of his deck there.
Yep.
Maybe Mining Village Workshop would be good here for Dan Brooks.
Dan still doesn't have a workshop, so. Black Hat Den.
Interesting.
Okay.
I can't predict Dan's buys, it turns out.
Yeah, I can't either. Dan is a mystery.
So Kaplane has got 2 dens, it looks like. Sorry, 4 dens total, but 2-2 alternating. But he doesn't wind up drawing here. Goes ahead and empties the black cats.
So greening is going to be very dangerous. Kaplan has the serious black cat advantage for what that's worth, which maybe isn't much.
Yeah, is it 7-3?
I believe so.
Okay, so Dan Brooks goes ahead and
trash the gold, get some villagers.
It was an awkward spot because he's got a lot of terminals down there in those 6 cards and no recruiter, so I think he needed to do that, but he definitely wish he had drawn some of those black cats so he could have a better turn.
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing that you really expect with Dan's play that he will do, which is track his deck very well and plan for when he needs villagers. Whereas Kaplan seems to play significantly faster.
I would like to get a den here, but I certainly also want to get a workshop and a mining village. I mean,
yeah,
it's just I hate to see the dens be so.
Okay, so it looks like the black cats are split 6-4.
Okay, yeah, we see 4 in Dan Brooks and they were all at the bottom, so that was an uncommonly poor shuffle for Dan Brooks. Also, his archive, he definitely should have been able to draw his deck there, but maybe it's better this way. I don't know what that last card is. Yeah, we'll see where Kaplane goes from here. He gets another recruiter because he's got a lot of black cats. He's going to need.
Yep, and Quest is good recruiter food.
I don't know about that second recruiter. I guess the idea Kaplane has is he wants one to trash coppers. Yeah, that's fine. So Kaplane didn't get to his workshop that turn? Or no, where did he? I'm still trying to follow. He trashed the workshop. Okay, Kaplane does not have a workshop anymore.
Interesting.
Maybe he needed to do that to save the turn, but that's I mean, I like workshop gaining mining village.
Yeah, workshop seems very important here.
So Dan Brooks easily overdrawing his deck here,
Oh yeah.
and we'll
So
see
he
what
could
he
do some gain
does.
and play with workshop if he wants.
And squires if he wants. Like, I mean, he wants one of the squires to be plus. Well, he doesn't have money, so. Well, he wants it for quest, so. But one of them could gain a silver. All right, workshop gaining something, squire gaining silver, play recruiter, trash copper.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want a second workshop. JNails.
But Dan does end up getting a second workshop. See if he wants a silver. He does. See what he trashes here. I could see trashing the silver.
Okay, trash the copper, so he just wants to get really clean. He's gonna need some more villagers soon. But
Yeah,
presumably he will trash a gold at some point. But this is sort of looking very spinny.
okay, so something interesting to note. He didn't have his Den of Sin down here, and I think he played that archive, so he is going to have quite a lot of overdraw on his next turn. So I think the second workshop is going to end up paying off.
Hmm. Yeah, he's gonna easily draw a deck on this turn.
Well, he needs to find. He really wants to find his gold to recruit.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, he can recruit the recruiter now. It's not too bad since he's down to
Yeah,
one copper.
I believe so. There's
Um,
5 in the trash, so he cannot be down to 1.
so kaplane did not find either of his recruiters and ran out of actions. Could triple quest here.
Some dens might also be nice.
Double quest den, single quest, double den. He's got lots of options.
Yep. 2 dens quest. I like that line, Sammy.
If he does that, he probably wants to think about piles for a bit. I wouldn't put it past Dan Brooks from being able to get quite a lot of piles empty, like the Squire pile in particular I'm looking at, between his two workshops and his two Squires. And he could gain and play Squires.
Yeah, that might not be safe. Um,
But he is a little light on money. But he has a couple mining villages, I think, which he could trash. Yeah,
a
I don't
workshop fire den.
I don't know if Cuplane's deck can support that. We'll see. But yeah, I think lowering the den would have been dangerous.
Yeah, I see that. So here he can recruit a recruiter. He might choose to recruit a gold and kill another copper. This could also be recruiting a squire and getting a villain.
I did not notice that Dan Brooks bought another Denizen in that last turn. So yeah, he's got a lot of overdraw, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
Coming in.
sorry, I was just gonna say I said that Dan Brooks only had one copper left, but I was ignoring the two coppers he had archived away. So he actually has three total and two this turn.
Yeah. Yeah, there's only 5 coppers in the trash. So neither of them has gotten rid of all their coppers or um, gotten super close to it yet. But I mean, Dan is overdrawing by so much. I don't think he needs to worry about it right now.
Not this turn.
Problem is he just doesn't have great economy.
Right, and he trashed that gold for the villagers, which I think was necessary.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
Okay, Dan might see a win here. Oh, he had three. Okay, he had three mining villages, but one of the first one he did not trash, but he's thinking about a win here. He trashed one of them, presumably.
He might just be counting out and knows exactly what price point he's trying to hit and realize he needs 2 extra money. Let's see if he trashes this one. If so, he's probably going for a win. All right, he's going for something.
Workshop pile out, presumably. I wonder if, yeah, he's got a lot of draw. Probably workshops and squires, or workshops and dens. Probably squires. Yeah, he's gonna need
Kaplan
to.
does have a lot of black cats though, so if Dan's planning to win by like buying an estate, that could go very badly.
That is true. Huh.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, so Dan trashed the black cat with his recruiter. An interesting choice because now he's out of villagers. I'm a little surprised he didn't trash, well, something else. Maybe he needed the money from silver. But workshop was another option. Like, it would hurt. I don't know.
This is an awkward time to remember that black cat exists.
Yeah. He doesn't have enough buys to empty squires, so what? He has exactly enough money to empty two dens, so he can gain two estates with workshop.
That are each
Um,
gonna come with a curse.
yeah, well, he doesn't know how many black cats that kaplane has. He might be going through kaplane's last turn and notice that kaplane did not
All right, here we go.
play any
One,
black cats,
two, three.
and that's the game.
I've
A
had
critical error from Dan Brooks. I mean, he doesn't have to buy the dens, but like, what's he gonna do?
buy a province
Yeah, I
and
guess.
hopefully you don't lose next turn for some reason.
And hey, maybe that's possible. But he did trash one of his black cats, which is inconvenient.
Yep. He trashed two mining villages and has no villagers left.
Yeah, he's in a rough spot. Kaplane also no villagers left.
Yeah, but he can recruit a recruiter here.
Kaplane with like three workshops or something crazy. I just, I think, I don't know about that. Oh, he's recruiting a Den of Sin. That makes sense if you think this is your last turn. And you can
Yep.
do that at another time. Okay, okay. A lot of overdraw here. Wait, what? I thought the Kaplane had two
Looks like
workshops.
I think he already recruited one of them because he had that turn he needed to save.
All right, no, there's just one in the trash. I'm just wrong about the situation. I thought Kaplane got an extra workshop. Oh yeah, so no black cats in hand, so Kaplane can probably just win on estates now.
Let's see how many buys he has.
He's got
Uh,
five, right?
yeah, he has enough buys.
Got enough buys, got
Two
enough
five.
money, so that yeah, that should be game.
Just recruit another den.
I mean, you don't even have to, right?
I mean, he needed a villager. He could recruit a black cat.
Oh, okay. Wait, I mean that can't be the case. If he played recruiter, he could have played squire.
Yeah, you're right. All right, it looks like Kaplan's just counting it out now.
Some interesting comments that
Yeah, I think the first estate gain was to test the waters and see if um, Dan had a black cat in hand.
can you change that like autoplay?
I don't think so because I think
Oh
it has
no.
to ask you.
Oh no. He found another win. Province double den. Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah, I saw estates, but there was another line.
Yeah, that works too.
Oh, I see. Like even Yeah, there's no way to hide it because
Yeah, there's no pretend to think option.
right. Hmm.
You always get a pause.
Interesting. So
Same
that's
thing with like you can't. Oh, possessions here.
oh
Um,
no.
but same thing with like having mode in hand. Like you always have the option to react with it. So there's no way to not info leak that you have a mode in your hand or a number of other reaction cards.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, that was potentially relevant there. I mean, that was definitely relevant because kaplane ended up winning by 1 point or two
Yeah.
points, and I think it was um, the estate pilout was also going to be a 1 point um, threshold. So okay, that was on Danbrook's start as well. So kaplane off to a big lead. I don't play with possession, so I don't. I might not have much to say here.
Well, I have played a lot of possession games relative to your average Dominion player, so I will try to do my best. There's a lot of crazy stuff that uh, possession can do, obviously. Bishop Golden deck is better than possession. Um, I don't actually know how that would work. I'm trying to think that through. You possess them on their bishop turn.
Yeah, they can't. I think they can't mess you up, right? They
They
can't
can't mess you up,
they
but
can't
you
gain
still.
you a card, and they can't uh, permanently trash a card from your hand. So
Yeah. But on the other hand, you are guaranteeing them a province every turn. They possess you.
well, right? They just buy a province, sure, okay, but no, but to do so, they have to trash your province, which gives you 5 VP, I think. Oh wait, yeah, I think.
Yeah, no, VP is gained to the person playing it. You don't gain VP tokens. So yes,
So if your
that's
golden deck was of the 2 silver, 1 gold variety, well,
they're
no matter
forced.
what, they have to trash your province, and that's not a very good use of possession.
Yeah, so that's actually pretty interesting.
But both players have a 2-5 apparently. Uh,
Looks
so I
Yeah, it
mean,
looks like Dan 5-2 versus 2-5, but
like Forager Bishop or Forager Engineer would be the way to build for the Bishop Golden deck. But you're there's no clean way to do that. I don't think on the 2-5. I don't know what you get on the 5.
yeah.
Delve Forager maybe.
Chat is talking about rebuild a lot.
I think. Hmm, I don't know.
I'm
I'm
very bad at judging when a board is rebuild. Um,
Well, I don't see anything money wise that is gonna challenge a rebuild. So it's just a
I
question of
agree.
whether the opponent can get possession online fast enough because it's a
Possessing
nice
them,
deck to possess. If you can trash, quote unquote, their
possessing a
duchy.
possessing a rebuild deck is really good
Yeah.
because even if, let's say, they only have one province, you just name a state, and each one of their rebuilds is then gaining you a province when you effectively mill it.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, the province gets set aside, so they have to have multiple provinces that you can mill.
Well, I mean,
But
they're probably not going to have a ton of rebuilds in hand, but yeah, it would be lucrative to possess them, but it might be too late. Unclear.
Dan opens rebuild.
He was probably considering all his other options before doing that.
Yep, I know Kaplan hates rebuild.
Kaplane definitely thinks lowly of it. Okay, yeah, that
No
seems like
possession.
the reasonable alternative is Delve Forager.
Yep, and rebuild does get a bit slower because this is a shelters board.
Yeah, so we'll see if Dan gets an estate here or if he gets supplies. Oh, or he does.
Or he does.
Yeah, that makes more sense. I mean, supplies are also reasonable, but I would consider. I don't know what I'd get here. So kaplane with a double forager. Yep, makes sense. This I feel like should be either supplies or estate.
I mean, you do need to get some estates in your deck at some point. I mean, duchies are good too.
Maybe a
But you'd
forager's
like.
okay too. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I don't like rebuild on shelters boards.
Yeah, you have.
Doesn't feel like it's gonna be particularly fast here, and it seems like it's if Kaplan gets a possession deck online, it could be potentially
Oh,
devastating.
oh, but man, that overgrown estate draw, very nice. And it's got to be rebuild, right? What do you?
Yeah, I mean, well, maybe it's not. Maybe Dan isn't going full rebuild or something, but
Oh, he might be thinking, well, what am I gonna do? No, you buy rebuild and then I don't know. Double
apparently
delve,
it's double delve, triple
triple
delve.
delve. Yikes. Okay, I don't know what's going on.
Rebuild fake out into possession. Maybe. Maybe he just wanted to have
Uh,
that.
I mean, all those silvers doesn't seem like a possession deck to me.
Yeah. Um, and Dan does turn the hovel into an estate.
So Cuplane got a third forager there. I don't know about that. Um,
I mean, he wants to get thin and start playing multiple possessions a turn. Dan is really liking Delve.
okay, so he's gonna hit the estate here, buy another rebuild. One can only hope. He buys another rebuild. Okay.
Yep. Okay, Piazza hits.
Yeah, this is why you don't get a third forager.
Okay, we'll see if Kaplan puts a potion into this shuffle.
I think that's pretty greedy, but maybe potion supplies.
Yeah, that seems pretty good to me.
I just think there's pretty high likelihood that you don't hit 6p when you find your potion.
Camel Train supplies. He's probably planning to start exiling possessions now.
Interesting, yeah. Okay, wow, yeah, all those delves and Danbrooks just straight up buys a province. Okay.
Not something you often see a rebuild deck doing.
This is really unfortunate for Dan though, because his estate is in hand. He actually
Yep.
only has a duchy to target, and his second rebuild's not going to do anything unless well he can mill a province.
Not sure.
Speaking of unexpectedly hitting 8,
Yeah. Yeah, the rebuild deck usually wants to mill a province if it can. The goal of rebuild is to make the province pile disappear and hopefully score more.
yeah. So
It's not
for
a it's not a long-term strategy.
Kaplane sees that Dan doesn't have any foragers, so he's just trashes his supplies and powers them up. Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yep. There's the potion, another village. Okay, so presumably this will be getting a province and then mill a province.
And then probably by estate.
Mm-hmm. Because as Chap points out,
Well,
Dan's whole game plan relies on winning before um, possession engine gets online. Because if that happens, it's potentially very bad if you don't have enough of the province pile deleted already.
yeah, which makes me wonder. Maybe you don't get an estate here. You just try to win off of 3 provinces.
If you can mill them fast enough, the possession deck can't mill them or can't really do much. I mean, can start taking duchies, but if your deck isn't able to hit 5,
Chat. Titan Drake suggested a forager buy for Dan. Yeah, that seems quite reasonable.
mm-hmm. Instead, Dan delves. So this is like rebuild mixed with delve, like a delve money strategy.
Well, he chose not to mill the province too. It's
Hmm.
very confusing.
Okay, this should exile a possession. Puts a horse on his deck.
he can put 6 horses on his deck, Piazza is guaranteed to hit.
Yep.
I don't think he's going to do that.
No. Okay, here
Names a state. What is happening here?
So he decided, I don't know, he decided to mail a province.
What on earth? He had that opportunity. I'm so confused. I guess he didn't want to trigger. Okay, he didn't want to leave himself with a shuffle that had no rebuilds in it.
Yeah, that was the reason for not playing the first one.
I would have taken that duchy there. I don't know. He's
Okay,
really
yeah.
He's playing around the possession, I guess. I think you have time to rebuild that estate into a province.
Okay, Kaplan gets a grabber. Okay, this really should be a possession here. I don't see any way this misses. Presumably you forge a forager.
And then you think about whether or not you want to trash the supplies, but you don't.
I don't think you do. All right, so this is 3 possessions now for Kaplan. Dan can potentially get another province off the pile. Does he? Right? He still has a duchy in deck.
No.
No, he only has an estate.
Right. I'm confused. Maybe he does have a duchy. But how?
I mean, he bought one.
Oh, okay. Then yes, he's got 2 duchies.
Yes, he's bought 2 duchies.
I'm really confused by some of Dan's plays.
All right, here's the possessions. Dan puts himself in debt to nerf possession turns. So here Kaplan has to use the first one of his possessions just to pay off debt.
That's interesting.
And here he gets rebuild online, so he gets to gain some stuff.
Okay, so kaplane gains a bishop for himself.
Yep, and there's the interaction we were talking about earlier where you do rebuild. Here you name duchy. Getting a province, right? So that province gets set aside, not trashed, and Kaplan gains a province.
I mean, he could also trash the duchy. It doesn't matter, right? He should name a state if there were any left. But yeah.
I believe so. Okay, here Kaplan presumably needs to green. I could see emptying duchies as a in general the rebuild player wants access to those duchies.
I think I just wouldn't buy that fishing village as kaplane.
Yep, this looks very winning for Dan.
Yeah. That is.
Okay. This looks like half VP pretty much.
Oh, wait, but possession in play. Okay.
Yeah,
so that
no.
great
Yeah,
hand
that's a hit
goes away.
possession.
Okay, grave robber to gain duchies. Interesting.
It's just not enough VP. What do you do here?
Yeah, this is sad. Just a little too slow.
It's just rebuild. Always has been.
Yeah, I mean, there is bishop, and there's a bishop in his deck, but it's just like, if Dan sees a rebuild, it's over. Or here... Yeah, he has province
Yeah,
here.
he can just kill. Very interesting board.
Very interestingly played, yeah.
Two strategies that often do not see any play at high level, right? Possession and rebuild. Coming out and a very interesting non-mirror, right? Like,
yeah.
I think a lot of the very high level games we play and commentate and watch you tend to see very closely mirrored strategies.
Yeah, definitely a unique game. Okay. Um, Ooh, there's something potentially interesting here. I don't know if it'll come up, but you can sanctuary away estates, then inherit, and then you can like buy an estate
Find a state and
and get them all
discard them.
back. Yeah, but there's not a great inheritance target. It's just like fishing village or squire.
Squire. Yeah. Inheritance doesn't super excite me here.
So haunted woods is the draw. You're gonna want to get that, and if you have a 4/3, you're gonna open priest because it's a good card. So yeah, it probably doesn't come up.
Yeah, I mean, with museum, there's some incentive to keep an estate, so it's not as bad. But um, I don't see inheritance happening here. It just seems a little bit unnecessary. Like it's not too hard to get rid of your estates.
Yeah, so I imagine a priest opening the other card. I mean, it could be fishing village, it could be silver. Doesn't matter too much, I think. But then maybe I don't know if haunted woods is the first five, or if you get either a sanctuary or a replace.
Yeah, they all seem like decent options to me. I'm curious what the players will choose. Um, Replace is worth getting besides for flag.
I don't know. I mean, I think the awkwardness is you open priest and you have an opportunity to buy a replace on turn 3 or 4. Like, what is it doing at that point? Because your estates are, you're not going to have many of those left. I guess you can replace copper into squire, and that's okay.
And Squire into something plus Haunted Woods.
Ooh, yeah, that's true. So yeah, priest fishing village open for both players. Dan Brooks does not
Seems
hit 5.
seems reasonable to me. Dan takes the
Oh,
flag.
he really wanted to make sure he hit
Hit
5 here,
5. Yeah.
or and saw his priest.
Okay, Kaplan takes the flag back.
Which is interesting because kaplane did have 5 there.
Yep.
But I think he knew he was going to have 5 on his next turn also if he did take the flag. I think it was
Yeah.
guaranteed.
What are the stats for first player taking the flag? For being the first player to take the flag.
It's
I'd imagine it's losing.
it's pretty close to 50%, but that's if you count the games where the other player never takes the flag. So
Hmm.
some of those are going to be late game. I take the flag, and you never really have a good opportunity to take it back.
Sure.
This seems like the kind of board where there's going to be a lot of flag tennis now because replace trashing flag bearer is pretty good.
Hmm. Yeah, it's pretty easy to trash your flag bearers once you get them. Um,
Yeah, so it is haunted woods that both players end up getting. They haven't gotten a sanctuary or a replace yet. I think I like finding time for that.
I mean, I like Sanctuary just because it gets you thin. But Haunted Woods is your main draw. It's tricky to balance because you want the sanctuaries do help against your opponent's Haunted Woods, but on the other hand, are you losing too much tempo by not getting Haunted Woods yourself and attacking them?
So Dan just trashed his flag bearer to a priest, and I just find that interesting. Uh, he's got the flag back. Should be haunted woods, right?
Well,
Or
it's
no, he
apparently
already had
replaced.
2. Okay.
So you can replace an estate into flag bearer to get the flag back because Kaplan takes it. And Kaplan does go for inheritance, inherits Fishing Village. Seems like the best thing to inherit to me. So this
Mm-hmm.
really nerfs the Haunted Woods attacks from Dan because Kaplan's always going to be able to play all his estates.
We got a graphical bug there where Dan's estates look special, but they are not special.
Yeah, that's I guess, a known bug. It's been around for a while.
Probably since
Doesn't
the
seem.
errata.
Yep, Dan can inherit here if he wants.
So you definitely play Haunted Woods. I think. Then again, you can priest and replace and get a lot of money.
Yep, that's one line that hits inheritance. Can priest something, then replace copper to estate, maybe, and then buy
Yeah.
inheritance.
Okay, but he goes for the flag dance there.
Yep, and here's the inheritance. Copper to estate is one short. You're correct, JNails.
A little unfortunate. Well, no, it's not an unfortunate draw. Well, now it is an unfortunate draw for Dan. If kaplane had taken the flag, he would have been happy to see what he has. Oh no, this is fine. He has the fishing village in duration. My bad.
Yeah, I mean, um,
Oh, yeah. I didn't even
yeah,
notice that the curses will be
that
given out.
that is the advantage now. You can turn coppers into estates, which are essentially fishing villages, and give out a curse at the same time. And yeah, you can easily get a squire with your replace. Just turn a copper into a squire.
And kaplane on the awkward side of this flag bearer war.
Let's see. So at this point, it could be sanctuary just for the plus buy and to thin. I mean, you're already getting very thin, but it's never
I mean,
terrible.
you got a lot of coppers left, so yeah, sanctuary is
Yeah,
definitely a good option. But so is replace. I mean, I think you want to do that while you can. Replace copper into a state.
yeah. Or your curse
Yeah,
into a state,
yeah, clearly.
and it works great with with priest, not prince.
Mm. So Dan Brooks, yeah, okay, he's got enough actions to do what he wants. Okay,
Okay, Stam picks up a sanctuary. This will probably be two copper to estates.
seems like the thing
See,
to do while
maybe a
you can.
squire, but no. You could just buy a sanctuary for plus buy.
Yeah, Haunted Woods. Yeah, because you've got three right now. It'd be nice to be able to get two down each turn, which
Mhm.
Dan Brooks is gonna be able to do unless he bottom decks Haunted Woods. Yeah, funny thing here is without Sanctuary, there's literally nothing else, like no cantrip going on.
Yeah,
Um,
and Kaplan just buys a flag bearer, so he takes the flag back. And in doing so, top decks four coppers. Um, that looks like a big mistake. I'm wondering if we're gonna see an undo.
I think I consider, yeah, priest on the estate or the copper doesn't matter. Wait, but no, you can just play that estate. I wasn't thinking about the trashing flag
Yeah.
bearer line, but that looks amazing. Yeah, Dan looking very strong spot.
Well,
He,
Kaplan just massively misclicked on his last turn, um, and in doing so, accidentally top deck five coppers.
oh, that he didn't have to. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Okay, doesn't make the same mistake again.
Well, he
Not
did,
using
but he
auto buy.
undid. He undid.
Won't get fooled again.
So yeah, this Dan is completely clean of coppers.
Can replace a curse into another estate here if he wants.
He's actually out of things to trash, though.
Yeah, you've got the curse and not much else. Can mill a province if you want.
He gets rid of the priest. Yeah, it's gonna be too hard to
Chat wants
support that.
priest to horde. Um, Okay, he sets up 3 Haunted Woods, so he's got quite a lot of Haunted Woods.
I think a horde makes some sense here.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe you just want to cement the lead while you're ahead and get a Haunted Woods here. Just make sure you have 3 in play each turn.
Mm-hmm.
But nope, goes for a
He
horde.
goes with a Horde. And then buys and gains a Copper.
Yeah. Um, yeah, that seems fine.
I mean, needs to replace something, I suppose, and he's overdrawing by quite a lot.
And if kaplane managed to get the last 2 estates, he could have just sanctuaried the copper.
Yeah.
He's super, super overdrawing. In fact, you could argue that he should not have played the 3rd Haunted Woods there. Right? It seems like they're. Well, the only
Oh.
reason was for overdraw, but yeah, kaplane in a terrible spot with all those curses, so that's game. Well played
All
by
right.
Dan.
2-1 Dan.
And this is first to 4 wins, and if they're in the event of a tie, that game will be replayed with the same starting player in a
So
different board.
Kaplan's rating has taken quite a hit from those 2 losses. He was rated 65 at the start of this set, and he's at 64.86 something now.
Both of these players have high fi,
Yeah.
but they also have high mu. So I think they may both come out ahead as a result of this rated match.
It's so interesting here. Um, Board with a lot of stuff,
Smuggler's
but no
Mess
plus buy. Only extra gains are smugglers
and Jester.
and Jester.
Mm,
Training on Herald looks kind of appealing.
I think
Uh, I don't know if it's really possible enough to get thin for the Herald stack to work.
yeah,
Can certainly play a lot of
absolutely.
Cardinals.
I mean, you've got churches.
Yeah. So they both. So we have Church Smugglers versus Double Church.
Yeah, I have been really liking Double Church since I've started trying it out. Church
Yeah,
with
it's something.
Smugglers, really nice, by the way.
Yeah. And yeah, Double Church is something I saw Nasmith do a lot, so I've started copying him and doing it, and it's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you have some bad outcomes if you don't see a church on turn 3, but if you see a church on turn 3, it's almost always great.
Yep. It only really has one failure case.
Oh, right, Guardian. That doesn't protect you from smugglers, but it does protect you from Jester.
Mm-hmm. And Cardinal.
Yeah, which nobody's bought yet, but
Yes, but a potential late game thing, since there are very minimal gains here. Like what else are you going to do? You want to try to attack your opponent as much as possible.
okay, so both players have 2 churches now, right? Seems like the number to have.
2 is a good number of churches. A weird statement, but makes sense in Dominion.
So Cuplane gets a werewolf there. A little awkward, but if you find it with Herald, that's great.
Okay, Kaplan gets another Guardian.
I think that's his first. I think Dan has the other one.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, I mean, Guardian's pretty good here. There's a lot of attacks.
So it looks like 3 churches for Dan. He goes ahead and plays both of them, sets aside nothing, and buys a Herald. Okay. Looks like Cuplane's gonna attack with his werewolf. Misery. It's a pretty good one here.
Yeah, I mean, there's no plus buy, so if this turns into a VP race.
I think Jester a little bit awkward. I mean, you want it, I guess, but not really right now. Hitting Smuggler is possibly more awkward. Oh wait, Dan Brooks cannot hit kaplane smugglers because kaplane does not have a smugglers. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Dan actually opened smugglers. So far, Kaplan is ignoring smugglers
Yeah, I think
and
that made.
has.
Sorry, I was gonna say I think it made more sense for Dan to because he was player two to open smugglers, and now kaplane does get a smugglers.
Okay, smugglers gaining smugglers.
Ooh, these heralds are going to become extremely valuable. A farming village, okay. That's interesting that Dan Brooks would take farming village over herald.
Yeah, I'm not sure I really understand that.
I think he just wants the guaranteed action, I guess, instead of the potential upside of the action plus draw. Hmm.
Or, as Sammy said, maybe it is that it's an anti-smuggler thing.
Too next level for me.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So Dan just really isn't hitting five often, but Kaplane is. Decides to spend five for a guardian there. Hmm.
Really doesn't want to get attacked.
Wonder if Dan will pick up a werewolf here. He's probably thinking about what those four cards are, seeing if both churches are going to find a target. If not, he might want to save a copper and buy a four cost.
Oh, he sets his jester aside. So basically passes the turn for a bigger next turn.
Yeah. Also, he knows the guardian is up for cup lane, so the jester's not going to do anything.
Yeah, but Kaplan's thin enough now that he should be able to alternate guardians every turn.
Yeah, very good turn from cup lane. The farming village actually being a pretty big help there. Because
I
his
mean,
heralds missed,
I
and he
suppose
needed
it's
that.
a good herald target because it lets you play with less heralds and still be more consistent.
Yeah, but what was going on there is his heralds were missing, and he finally got the plus action needed to play werewolf as draw. That's his
Yeah,
big cup lane's big advantage over Dan Brooks right now is having the werewolf so he can draw better. Dan Brooks is seemingly very far away from deck control.
yeah, Dan is just not drawing at all. And these jesters aren't doing anything anymore. They're just terminal silvers. Okay, Herald hits.
Ooh,
Okay, Kaplan gains a jester, which he can then play.
he can smuggle and then draw. What would he be smuggling though? What did Dan get? A herald, yeah.
Yeah, can smuggle some heralds. Church set some stuff aside, finish off heralds. Yeah. Oh,
Huh.
training on heralds instead.
A little surprised that he. Oh, I guess cup lane just saved the werewolf so he can use it as draw. Yeah, it's his only werewolf. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean attacking with it is nice, but you're in the lead. Like, may as well just amplify your lead.
Yeah,
Make sure you don't dud on your next turn.
I like the reliability play. Yep. Oh yeah, that would have been a good herald overpay, also, because he could have top decked two heralds, and it would have denied the smuggler for Dan. So yeah, I think Chad is mentioning um, buying herald there might have been better than buying training. I agree. Like you had 6 coins. What do you? How many coins do you want on this single buy board? Like I get that buying training at some point, but maybe maybe not, depending on how many jesters you end up with.
Sad smugglers.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean the training is great. It's just yeah, there may have been getting that last Herald might have been better.
Kaplan can conceivably green now. See, Dan has a guardian up, so these are sad gestures.
I think I like greening. Yeah. Man, you can set aside Herald, Smuggler's, Copper here. I would have set aside a Copper.
Yeah, make that miss the shuffle.
No,
Trash it on your next turn.
I guess he's gonna trash the Guardian, if he right because he's got 3 Guardians, which
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't need. I don't know how he has 3 Guardians or why.
He smuggled one.
I see,
Harold hit his smugglers, and he had to gain something.
but yeah, I mean, trashing Copper seems better than trashing Guardian, but whatever. Yep, province time, so smugglers are going to be pretty sad. Well, they smuggle whatever was smuggled on the previous turn, if
So Dan
anything.
goes ahead and trashes the smugglers.
Yeah,
Dan failing to draw here.
that's been the story. He doesn't have any werewolves.
Yep. And lost the Herald split 6-4, I believe. No, it's 5-5.
But yeah, kaplane is like overdrawing so much that he can. Wait, was there no trash from that church? Wait, he didn't.
It looks like Kaplan trashed
No,
a
he did. He
copper.
trashed a copper. Okay, okay, okay. But yeah, church here setting aside farming village herald copper looks great.
Elects to play on.
Yeah, no guardian to protect from these cruel jesters.
Well, they haven't been that cruel. I mean, let's see, he got another jester. He got a farming village. Either of which are amazing hits at this point.
It is nice for Herald though to get more
Yeah.
target. I mean, especially farming village.
So Kaplan plays 2 guardians.
Mm-hmm. He's got the copper set aside, so he knows he's going to be able to trash. So might as well play 2.
Gotcha.
Well, I guess you could have played 1, and then you'd be able to set aside the spare guardian with your church this turn.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, yeah, no need to play both, but very far ahead.
First supplies of the game. Usually a card we see played pretty often, but just does not work in these decks really with Herald.
And also, the lack of plus buy led to not many opportunities to get him while building.
Yeah. So Kaplan is going to gain the supplies.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you're drawing your deck, it's fine. I mean, they are something for Herald to whiff on, but on the other hand, the horses are nice. Yeah, Kaplan is very far ahead.
But Dan finally gets to draw his deck.
Okay, what does he set aside? Jester and 2 coppers. Church sets aside the rest of the crap. Buys a province.
Okay.
Kaplan kills off his supplies. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, right? You get the horse, then you kill off the supplies. You don't have to worry about it hitting when you're looking for Herald hits.
I don't know that it makes sense, but no, I don't know that it makes sense. Oh, for tomb point.
Well,
Okay,
yeah,
sure.
for tomb points.
set aside one of the guardians.
And a horse. Yeah, horse, province guardian.
Mm-hmm.
Play the supplies by a province. I don't think you really want to smuggle here.
Yeah. Right. Duchy dancing is not a thing you want to do on this board, especially
Yeah,
against Kaplane, who has the double smugglers.
yep.
Or do they both have two? No, there's one in the trash somehow.
Yeah, Dan trashed one of his smugglers to a church.
Right. Confusing. Oh no! Farming village can't draw the guardian. Oh no!
Worst village?
Oh no! I was wondering what was going on. Oh, that's so sad. Oh. Supply is not the card you want to see.
No. Let's see what these jesters hit.
Hmm. I think I would. Oh, I see. I see. Yeah, yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, just set everything aside, play the supplies, play the guardian by a
Very nice. Yeah,
province.
yeah, yeah. I like it.
Dan resigns. Okay, 2-2.
Oops.
And Kaplan's back above 65.
Indeed, he. Never mind.
All right, so we have a tax board.
We've got a no trashing board.
Island is only thinning. Old Witch is trashing. Yeah, kinda.
You kind of want all the fives. I mean, what I mean to say is
Old
having
Witch and Barge.
having less than five is pretty sad times on this board.
Yep. And tax does make the opening a little more awkward than usual.
I don't know. I think it just
It's silver, silver.
if
Yeah.
you, I think so. Like you consider a cut purse probably as player two. Like as player one, you probably don't want to remove that dead token from cut purse. Yes, without tax, cut purse would be good, but self-taxing in order to, in the future, reduce one coin from the opponent, and that just doesn't seem worth the terminal space.
I agree. But for Dan here, I suppose it is just silver, silver.
Yeah. Could no, never mind. Like you could do silver pawn, but no, don't do that.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, Old Witch's first five looks good to me. There's alternative draw, so I don't know if you get a second Old Witch. If you do get a second Old Witch, it probably should be your second buy, your second five.
Mhm.
But I can see skipping the second Old Witch and transitioning to Barge earlier.
Yeah, Barge does give you the plus buy and the flexibility as well. So Dan finally decides that he's gonna buy silver. And okay, we see another silver.
Okay, double silver from both players. Kaplane hits 5 with the opportunity to get a double 5. Oh no, Dan with the double 4.
Oof. So Kaplan gets Old Witch.
Oh, I don't know what you do as Dan here. This is
Cry.
awful. Tax silver, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, I think I'd tax silver, to be honest.
It's not a good position to be in. Buys a pawn. Okay. So I think this has to be Old Witch for Dan here.
Yeah. Here's just card, whatever. Okay, he hits 5 again, so that's nice.
Yep, so Kaplan gets a second Old Witch.
So does Dan. Okay, I do think double the witch seems right. It's just
Probably
didn't
Bandit Camp here.
didn't seem necessary, but yeah.
Yep. So Kaplan seems decently ahead. Dan also elects to pick up a Bandit Camp. Lucky to have a curse in hand to trash there. That doesn't usually happen
Oh, Dan's in such
that
bad
early.
shape. Both of his old witches are gonna miss here.
Yeah.
This is brutal.
Dan elects to get an island.
Yeah, I don't know. Why not? I mean, you'd really like to play that island and get rid of an estate.
All right, Kaplan moves into the barge.
Oh, but he took a dead to get that island. Nah, I don't like that anymore.
Yeah. Plus, you're already so over terminaled.
I wonder if you just shouldn't have played the old witch there. It's bad no matter what. Just
It's
feels
kind of a
awful.
screwed if you do, screwed if you don't situation.
Gotta be. I think it's gotta be Bandit Camp as Dan.
Mm-hmm.
I think you don't play the Bandit Camp as Dan. There's no real reason to. Just buy a barge.
Yeah, you really don't want that out of your shuffle. Truffles wants to play it.
Hmm.
Dan elects to play it. Let's be a barge for Dan. Yep. Unfortunate looking hand from Kaplan. Finds his witch.
Okay. I think I had card action with the pawn.
Yep.
I just want to find an estate ideally to island, but you can island the curse. It's okay. So maybe you don't. Maybe you just guarantee that there's an old witch down there.
Puts a copper on his island mat.
Right. Because you can trash the cursed old witch. Okay. If you give
Yep.
say one action coin with pawn. Yeah. Okay.
Interesting decision point here. Or which of these three terminals would you like to play? Likes just to keep on cursing.
I think so. It's a little unfortunate not to have the plus buy, but
Old Witch is a pretty good card.
it's just tough to get deck control here.
Yeah. No trashing and Old Witch.
I don't
The
know about
lot.
all these bandit camps for Cup Lane. I'd be getting more barges. Like, it doesn't matter if you compare two old witches together. You just have one buy. Like, I don't know. I'd want the plus buy. And also,
Yep.
like, Barge's duration to set up the more consistent turns.
These pawns are not doing a ton for Dan, but he buys a prince, so presumably he's going to prince a pawn.
Yeah.
Did not expect to see prince. Wow, Kaplan is drawing spectacularly poorly after being off to a really strong start.
I mean, I think I want Barge, but I don't actually know. I think Dan has does he have three bandit camps or just two? If he's got only two, then bandit camp makes sense. But if he's got three, I'd go for the Barge probably.
Dan has 3.
Yeah, Barge. It's a good card. What do I know? Tax the pawn.
Just keep taxing it.
Yeah, if you do both
Dan
duration
could
here.
potentially, yeah, double duration here to try to set up his prince.
Okay, well this worked out fine. You can, well, I think. Do you? Ooh, you don't have a pawn down there, do you?
I don't
Yeah,
think so.
double duration seemed like the thing to do.
Agreed.
You could try for an island. Could have good luck and
Find a pawn.
I was gonna say bottom deck
Eh?
prince. Oh no, there it is. All right, it's all good. It's all good. So kaplane goes ahead and gets a province. He's really not getting the villages before the draw, which he was hoping for by buying all those villages. Alas. Oh. Islands, the curse and buys another island. Okay.
So piles are getting low. 2 islands and 2 bandit camps left.
Tie score. Okay, okay. Could be another province turn for kaplane if he wants. Could be province island.
Yep.
Could be. Yep, that's what it is.
Province island seems good to me.
Ooh, that prince pawn. Could be anything. Any combination of two basic things. Oh, it's draw an action. Okay. I think you just island the curse and buy a province here, Dan.
Yeah, islanding a curse is a bit feels bad.
This game is close to over.
Yeah, Kaplan could potentially win next turn if he draws well. Okay, Dan taxes Bandit Camp and takes a duchy, trying to prevent the pile out, drag the game on a little longer.
Strange.
Well, if you just buy province there, right, that loses just 2 Bandit Camps. So here, at least, now Kaplane did 12 rather than 10.
The fact that kaplane drew at all is a minor miracle.
All right, 3-2.
Yeah, kaplane looked way ahead, then had some
Really
bad
rough
turns.
draws in the middle there.
Yeah, you hate to see the 4-4 off a double silver opening. As
Yeah,
Dan.
it's very unfortunate and also very unlikely to happen.
Ooh. Ill-gotten gains and only sanctuary to get rid of the curses.
Are we going to see an IGG rush?
I think that's very unlikely, but IGG could be relevant. Sanctuary is something you're going to want anyway because of the plus buy. Potion looks real good here. Apothecaries into Alchemist, the old school.
Yep. Especially with no good way to get rid of copper.
So kaplane with an immediate silver open, yeah, there's really nothing else.
Silver potion seems reasonable.
Yep. Ooh, wow, is that a double miss from kaplane?
Yep,
Golden
that was
sombrero. Oh my god, and Dan Brooks gets the Apothecary Sanctuary open. Yikes.
Well then.
Dan Brooks, pretty favored with second player advantage here.
We all know about 2PA.
Dan decides to buy nothing. That's fair.
What do we think about this early conspirator?
I don't think there's another terminal you want to play, so sure, why not?
Yeah.
Like, maybe you get a skulk when you really get under control, but I doubt it. So, second apothecary from Dan. I think at this point, after 2 apothecaries, I'd switch to alchemist when I can.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
So do we go second sanctuary? I think so, but relic is another option. Artificer, huh? I don't think I like that at all.
I will be right back.
I mean, Artificer is fine at some point, but it seems too early, in my opinion. But hey, these draws really reward it, so I could be off. So here you can top deck your 5 of choice and then buy a alchemist.
Yep, that sounds pretty good to me.
I don't really want to top deck a relic. I'd like to get a relic, but I'd rather top deck a sanctuary.
Agreed.
But maybe, I don't know, with the 2 apothecaries and the apothecary artificer thing going on, maybe you don't need the second sanctuary because you have a nice thing going with those coppers.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting build.
I mean, I think IGG is relevant on this board. I just don't think it's anything you want right now. I'd want to get a reliable relic attack down before I thought about IGG. I don't know. I won't be shocked if Dan gets another apothecary, but personally, I would like the reliable draw from Alchemist.
Yeah, Alchemist seems a bit better here.
Okay, so he does get the Alchemist, but he gets an Artificer. So we'll see if he can take advantage of two Artificers. There's nothing really cheap for Artificer to gain, so mm, I'm a little skeptical.
Yeah, you kind of have to be using it to gain fives here.
No, you can gain Conspirator. That's another good
Oh
one.
yeah, Conspirator works.
But yeah, that's 4 cards discarding. That's a
Mm-hmm.
lot. It's a lot, especially with just two apothecaries. So something to consider with like the one more apothecary thing is maybe you find yourself in a position where you just have two in a potion down the line. So it's not like you're never going to get another apothecary. Like maybe it makes sense to discard such that you only have two potion, and
Yeah,
then you'll pick up the third apothecary. But I like the alchemist like mixed in there. It'll just make your turns more reliable. So as Dan, I really want to get to my sanctuary if I can.
yeah.
And there it is.
Looks like he does find it. An Alchemist and an Apo have some nice synergy, and the Apo will dig up potions for Alchemist.
So Dan could have discarded for another conspirator there. Chooses not to. Is he going to be able to just? Yeah, he can just buy whatever he wants here. So it was just like a question of top decking, and maybe he picks up a relic now along with the alchemist. Sammy's talking about second potion. I don't like the second potion. Man, artificer all the way, huh?
It's Artificers all the way down.
But it does go ahead and get the third apothecary. And I'm not talking about what Coplane's doing because it just makes me sad. In terms of his draws, not the decisions necessarily, but after that sombrero,
Yeah, Kaplan just is a couple turns behind in building.
yeah, he doesn't. He does have an alchemist now. He picked that up um, on his last turn, but he does. He has one artificer, two apothecaries. So yeah, he's just like a couple turns behind. He has a conclave for some reason.
Yeah, he did at one point use it to activate our Conspirator. Not sure why he picked it up. It's not like he needs Village Effect that much.
I think he was just in a bad spot where he wanted to be buying something that
A
costs
five
five
cost.
or with a potion, but he couldn't. And another conspirator might have been too greedy. If, as you say, it activated his conspirator, then yeah, another conspirator there would not have helped. So Dan's got all of his estates exiled and a copper for good measure.
Now has a nice Artificer stack.
Yeah, but you want to see an apothecary.
You do. Okay, discards for a Conspirator.
There
There's
it
the Apo.
is. Hmm. Yeah, you can't really. I don't know. It's just these artificers. You don't need as many as you have, but
I mean, their failure case is that they're basically peddlers.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
it's not a bad failure case.
for sure, for sure. Just two buys, so I feel like I want another sanctuary. Yep.
Yeah.
Probably the time to get that was a little bit earlier.
Probably. Could have potentially been looking to Artificer and do it, but didn't line up the Apos and Artificers correctly. Oof, this is rough for Kaplan.
Yikes.
I think he's considering resigning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
that
right, game 7, let's go.
pretty fast pace.
Yeah, it's not been a particularly long set, but true to form, Kaplan has brought it to game 7 in a bunch of times this tournament. Um, beat RTT game 7, lost to Honda game 7, so let's see how he does against Dan.
It
And
will.
ties do not count here, so if for some reason they tie, they just replay.
It's going to be Dan's start. Okay, what is our druid doing? Ooh, 2 gain options for druid.
Yeah, that's a nice druid.
That's pretty important on this board because you have apprentice and forge, which are both going to appreciate gainers. You also have jester in terms of a gainer. Yeah, if you can make the jester gain reliably, you're going to be able to pull off some pretty great turns with forge, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, you might need apprentice to be doing the trashing from your gains because there's no other draw, right?
Yeah, I mean, Apprentice is the main card I'm looking at here. I think you need to be gaining stuff and then trashing it to Apprentice because that's pretty much your only draw.
And there is traveling fair to potentially set up, like make sure you have apprentice on top.
Potentially with some food.
So both players have the 4-3 or 4-3 and 3-4.
Yeah, and I don't see any crazy traveling fair opening tricks here on 4-3. I mean, you can top deck a druid.
And then you could
Not
use
sure.
Earth's Gift to get a 4 cost. So if you preferred a druid, well, no, that just doesn't do anything for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't see it. And if you did decide that you wanted to open druid, you aren't even getting Basilica points
So I think
if
the
you traveling
question,
fair.
yeah, I think
So
the question was whether you open Gladiator here, and it looks like they're both going to do so.
yeah.
This should be Apprentice, right? First 5, but Jester is also an option.
I think it's definitely Apprentice. Kaplan going for the early ports. Maybe for a unique for Gladiator?
Ah, Apprentice trashing board. That's something you
Hmm,
can also.
that's a good draw.
Yeah. I mean, for now, you play the ports just as villages, but later on. I mean, you're going to want some ports anyway to support the Jesters.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's completely reasonable to get port on 4 there. Now, Dan with 3 buys a sad second silver. It looks. Alright, so they both get an apprentice into their second reshuffle. Can top deck a 5 cost here, can Dan. I think I'd want that to be.
No, he goes for Forge.
Okay, okay. Unfortunately, he doesn't see the apprentice here in his turn 4 hand.
Forge does indeed seem pretty good here.
Yeah, top decking apprentice would also have been good. Okay, so kaplane with the choice now. He's got right. He's got a
Yep,
7
same
coin hand.
decision. Could top deck a 5 or could buy a Forge.
Goes
Likes
for
to go for the
forge.
Forge as well.
Yeah, I mean, for kaplane, the top decking wasn't as valuable because he was at the end of his shuffle. It's just forge is a little more awkward than usual here because in order to
There's
have a
no
good
good way to draw up to a big Forge.
precisely. But I mean, it's the most efficient way to trash coppers.
here can get a decent trash in.
So here we're gonna see kaplane. Yep. He apprentices a port, and he's gonna have a pretty nice forge here. He can gain another forge. He probably doesn't want to do that. Guess you keep
So
the
he did
silver.
have a guaranteed reveal if he waited and gladiatored off a port.
Okay, so second apprentice for kaplane, and he trashes into a throne room. Okay.
I mean, the druid was gained off of forge truffles.
So both players with two apprentices. No jesters yet. We'll see if. Oh, there's also charm for multiple gains.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's fortune. But
Fortune's
Dan
open.
cannot afford it. Decides to top deck an apprentice. Really wants to set up a good forge here.
Unfortunately, cannot hit fortune either.
Also, pretty sad forge.
2 coppers to copper, yeah.
So let's see if he picks up Jester or Charm or Third Apprentice. Third Apprentice. So Dan getting clean from these coppers. Both players with pretty thin decks. I don't know.
It's an interesting decision. Do you get fortune or do you clean up?
Well, might as well play Gladiator first, right?
Sure. I personally lean towards fortune, but they both seem like very acceptable options.
You've got two apprentices top decked, so I think you're pretty guaranteed to be able to get another big turn off. Yeah. You could actually apprentice the forge, though. You probably want the forge for gaining
It gives you good
things.
end game control as well.
You know, second fortune to gain another gold could be something relevant here. And then you can apprentice like one of the fortunes, right?
um, yeah, sure. It's a pretty expensive way to draw. You may as well at that point just buy a province and apprentice it.
Well, no, because you get the extra gold gain.
Yeah, but it costs you
All
16.
right,
Province and gold and traveling fair
I see what
is
you're getting at.
also 16.
I see what you're getting at. Well, okay, so here's the benefit. If you just had enough money floating around, the benefit is you have two fortunes, so you're more likely to start your turn off with one of your two fortunes instead of like whatever. It probably doesn't matter, but
I'd be surprised to see a second fortune, but it's not like outrageous.
yeah. So Dan Brooks does trash the forge. Um, I feel like yeah, you just clean up the rest with your coppers. You're
With the
short on
apprentices,
gains.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Aiming to throw in the gladiator. Double
This
fortune reveal.
it's a lot of money. That was a very good turn for Dan. It's just he's running out of things to
Apprentice.
apprentice. So where do they go from here? No charms or gestures gained yet.
No groundskeepers touched.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't worry about groundskeepers yet. You got to find a way to sustain this draw, right?
Mm-hmm.
No Basilica points taken, but I think that's going to change this turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Charm's pretty nice because there's a lot of fives you want. You know, buy an apprentice and then just gain a bunch of charms, gain a bunch of groundskeepers, buy a jester, gain a bunch of groundskeepers.
And then later on, you can do something like if you have a bunch of groundskeepers and charms, buy a 5 cost, gain 7 duchies.
So you're a little short on plus actions here. I think I wouldn't get a jester as Dan. I think I'd just get 3 charms probably and 6 basilica points.
Massive play.
I just think your plus actions are scarce enough that jester is not gonna pay off too much here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you have a port and a throne room, and you might want to use the port for food.
Ideally not, but yeah, like I don't know, it's a rough spot. But Dan does go for the jester. See if he gets ports here to try to support that.
Mm-hmm.
Could be jester charm ports. Goes for yet another apprentice and another jester. Okay. Huh. So no plus actions except for that one port. Maybe planning to throne the port, but at this point he's got to apprentice that port. So he's just in a terrible spot when it comes to plus actions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those buys did not make a lot of sense to me.
Okay, so kaplane with an interesting move to right at the beginning of his turn. Well, no, excuse me. After apprenticing a gold, he forges an apprentice into a jester. He doesn't trash any copper. Thinking, well, those coppers are worth 2 coins now. I probably want those this turn to pay off the debt.
So we're just seeing more apprentice.
Okay, charm for
finally a
kaplane.
charm.
So kaplane has 1 jester and 1 charm. Dan Brooks has 2 jesters. Is the situation, but Dan, whoa, what was trashed?
Yeah, he trashed a druid.
And that sure doesn't draw much.
Yep, and that's also a buy that you'd like to have with fortune around.
Oh, it's okay. There's traveling fair.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Dan's got a lot of apprentices down in those 4 cards, so he probably wants to just think about how to win next turn.
Okay, interesting. Dan counting something out.
Yeah, I think he just wanted the Basilica point. He thought it was more valuable than top decking, which I agree, because you know you've got the 2 apprentices top decked.
Mm-hmm.
You might even know you have a gold there. You probably do, so that looks good. I don't know if it's better to trash port, apprentice, or gold there, though. Well, we'll find out what Dan chooses. Meanwhile, Cuplane
Everyone draws deck.
trashes the charm that he got and is forged, so big draw. And then he's starting to play some jesters, and he's gaining those jesters, and he's not gaining that apprentice.
So piles are definitely getting very low here.
Yeah, somebody in chat mentioned estate pile out. which is pretty costly with traveling fair as most of your buys, but
Mhm.
that's going to be what? It's going to be 16 plus 12, so 28 um, with the 2 plus buys you have.
Yeah, it doesn't seem super practical at this point, but with Fortune being able to double your payload.
Yeah. It also depends how many jesters your jester finds, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And if your gladiator can
Kaplan,
reveal a unique 2 times.
yeah, Truffles, Kaplan started off this turn by apprenticing his jar.
Yeah, charm got trashed.
Okay, trash is a port. Stan is really low on plus action.
No,
Apprentice
he
defensive.
has 2 ports left in the deck, I think. Or is that the last port? He's got a throne.
I think he has a throne and a port left.
I think I trash apprentice here, but I'm not sure.
Oh no, he still has 2 thrones. I mean 2 ports.
Okay. Um, okay. Probably wants to throw in the jester.
Yep.
Short on actions though.
Alright, Jester pile's getting deleted.
Maybe that's enough. Dan doesn't need any points. He might have it here. He can reveal gold safely. It's a guaranteed unique.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to bring him up to 30 coins and 2 buys. He needs 3 traveling fairs. That brings him down to 24 coins. That's exactly enough. Yeah, I think he has exact lethal.
Watch is broken, man.
Right? So he doesn't need to play Jester. He should not play Jester because he has the guaranteed win if he plays Gladiator, right? You
Gladiator.
buy Port and 4 Jesters, and you
Yep.
win. That costs 24, and you need to buy 3 traveling fairs, which is 30 total. And you have 30 in hand here. Gladiator brings you up to 9. Gold brings you up to 12. Coppers bring you up to 15. Fortune doubles it to 30.
Alright, let's see if Dan finds it.
I get the impression that some people in chat are not listening to our insightful commentary. The way you hunt to see if revealing gold is a guarantee is you look in that trash, and then you look in the supply.
2 gold's gone.
Then you look in your
1 in
hand.
the trash. 1 in my hand. It's pretty guaranteed.
But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of lines here. I just happened to stumble across one that one, it's entirely possible Dan Brook is thinking about all the conditional other lines, but looks like he got there.
Gladiator gold. Looks like he sees it.
Yep. Exact lethal.
Yep, on the nose.
And the Basilica points won the day.
Basilica 8-4 split at the end of the game. And people say, you know, some of those landmarks don't impact the game at all, and they all just split 6-6 every time.
Whew, very close 7-game match there. Dan Brooks wins 4-3 over kaplane, and kaplane ends up in fourth place, a very impressive showing, but just out of the big money. Dan
Yep.
Brooks advances to the losers finals, and he's going to play JNails. The loser gets third place, and I think like $20, and the winner advances to the grand finals against
Honda.
Honda. All right, exciting stuff. Maybe we'll get to commentate one or both of those last two matches.
Yeah, that'd be fun. We'll see when they end up getting scheduled for.
All right, until the next ones, folks.
See you guys.